2021 is nearly over, so it's time to do my review of the year, beer edition. What are my top 10 breweries and the top 3 rated beers of 2021? Keep watching to find out what they were. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Yep, it's that time again. It's the end of the year. Where has 2021 gone? I mean, let's face it, where's 2020 gone? Those last 2 years are pretty much years to forget. The only shining light in those last 2 years is I started this beer channel. Now, with our 500 odd beer reviews, a lot of beer has been drank, a lot of music's been listened and re-listened to. But now this time to do my review of 2021. I don't think I actually did it last year because I only started the channel in June last year, so I had 6 months worth. I've had a full year of drinking beer, and I think I've got a pretty good idea what my top 10 breweries are, and also I can tell you my top 3 rated beers. So let's go through the breweries first. So in 10th position, it's a bit of a joint position in 10th because I just couldn't work out which one I'd rather have. And in 10th position, it's a joint between Salt Brewing and Vocation. I mean, both of these breweries have been consistently good, and certainly from a supermarket standpoint, they're one of the strongest. I mean, the Salt Alpaca is my highest rated supermarket beer on the channel. I pretty much nearly crept into the top 3 even. So that gives that a good brings that much higher up. But also we've had some pretty good. Denim was pretty good by Salt. Nuckenbach, is that the name of it? Yeah, there's a few Salt beers that are pretty good. And Vocation, again, I do like Hop, Skip and Juice. The Roll With It is a new one they did. The one in the Morrisons with the Space Invaders, which I can't remember the name of, another good one as well. So Vocation and Salt pretty much are the very consistent supermarket beers, and I put them in joint 10th position in terms of breweries of top 10 breweries. In 9th position is a brewery which I thought were going to be bigger this year, but they have still brought out consistently good beers. I haven't really had a bad beer from them, and that's Quantock. Now, Quantock Brewery, based down in Somerset. Great beer. I mean, they are similar to those other sort of southwest breweries in terms of their great mouthfeel, but really good flavours. Maybe they're one to watch in 2022. I did say when I reviewed them at the end of last year that they're ones to watch for 2021, but I don't think that they've really sort of developed and released enough beers, and I certainly haven't drank enough of them on the channel, but I still think that they're worthy in my top 10. I always say, if I see a Quantock beer, I always pretty much try and get it because I know it's going to be pretty good. So Quantock makes 9th position. In 8th position, I'm putting Vault City. Now, Vault City, in my opinion, are the best brewers of quality modern sour beers. I mean, I'm a massive sour beer fan, but the things that they do is quite amazing at Vault City. We've had a couple of really good beers. We've had a couple of not so good, bit average, but they've done a lot of other beers I haven't had a chance to get hold of. And they're always ones that I'm always looking out for. When I go and buy my beers, I think I've got to get a Vault City one. I'm going to see what's going on, what's the best at the moment. I think they're worthy of my top 10, and I'm putting them in 8th position. In 7th position is the Bristol Brewery Arbor Ales. Now, Arbor, again, have made consistently good beers. I mean, Galazaka, Massive Azaka, great beers. You've got the 0-0. We had Space Hardware. We've had a couple of other beers as well that have been good, but the thing is with Arbor, they're great value for money because they're in massive pint cans, and they are good beers. Again, Arbor is another one that I'm always looking out for new stuff from them. So I'm putting Arbor in 7th position. In 6th position, I'm putting Cloudwater. I think that their beers outside of the supermarkets are consistently good. They do produce a lot of beers. They're a big brewer, really. And they do lots of different beers using lots of different styles and different hops. But I think certainly their Barn and Edel Valley, somewhere within the Little Pump House, have been really good beers. And even the Tesco ones. I mean, when I reviewed them, I thought they were okay. But actually, over Christmas I've drank more of them because they're quite cheap really, and certainly I think the Session IPA is really good by Cloudwater in the supermarkets. You can buy 4 of those for £6 if you've got a club card. I think that's great value for money. But I think Cloudwater, again, another company that consistently good in terms of all their beers. They may not appear in my top 3s, but certainly they're always going to be a recommended, or if not highly recommended. I've never had a bad beer by Cloudwater. So I'm putting them in 6th position. In 5th position, and these are probably the brewery really in terms of where they've come on this year, and that's Overtone. So Overtone, based in Glasgow, again another brewery that have made great beers, whether it be sour beers, stouts, pale ales, IPAs. I haven't had any of their double IPAs, but their IPAs have been really good. I mean, the Bruce and the Betty were great. They had a Northern Southern Hemisphere beers that were really good. We've had single hop stuff from them. As I said, the sour that we had from them, that was the sort of, I'm trying to think, it was like cherry sort of vanilla, and it was really, really good sour beer. And I think Overtone are up there, and they've really pushed on this year. So I'm putting them in 5th position. In 4th position is Northern Monk. Now, Northern Monk to me are still one of the best breweries out there. They do lots of different beers, so sometimes a couple of beers can go in there that are not so good. But their patrons projects are excellent. All of them have been good. They will feature in the top 3 as well. Their supermarket beers, whether it be Scaffell, whether it be Transient, whether it be Faith in the Futures, are really, really good as well. Certainly from a supermarket point of view, they're one of the better beers in supermarkets. So they're overall really good, but certainly their patrons product stuff is exceptional. So I'm putting Northern Monk in 4th position. In 3rd is Verdant. I used to call them Verdant, but they are Verdant now, so they always were Verdant. But I think that, again, another brewery that makes very, very good, consistent beers. I mean, we had, at the beginning of the year, we had Putty, that were their rebrew. I thought that was pretty good for a double IPA. Maybe a little overhyped, but even Sniffing the Wrong People, 300 Laps, really good beers. Whether it be pale ales or IPAs, very, very good. I think they're always going to be in and around my sort of top 5, but I think 3rd position is where they're going this year. So Verdant in 3rd position. In 2nd position, a lot of people might think, oh, aren't they your favourite brewery? Well, I do go on a lot about them. They do get a lot of coverage on the channel, but my 2nd favourite brewery of 2021 has to be Pollys. I mean, their core range this year had been really good. They've done some New Zealand hop beers at the end of this year, which unfortunately I haven't really reviewed them, apart from the Antipodean IPA. But a lot of their other ones I haven't reviewed, but I've drank them, and they are, believe me, they are very, very good. So definitely Pollys. I mean, again, they do great artwork. I love the cans. They produce lots of different beers, and a lot of them are sort of my sort of favorite New England style hazy IPAs, double dry hop pales and normal pales, and their double IPAs, all pretty damn good. And I'm always excited with Pollys, and I will always buy them because I just think they're really good beers. So Pollys just picks out a number 1 by coming in 2nd place. And in 1st place this year has to be Daya. One of my highlights of the years was going to the Daya tap room and drinking it on draft. That was even better. Really great experience that. Wanted to go to more places. Every time I was going to go to more places, lockdown restrictions, etc., etc. But glad that I went to the Daya tap room, because the beers I had there were great. I bought them there as well, and brought them back and reviewed them on the channel. And they are some of the best beers that I drank this year. Whether it be Into the Haze, Better Days, Glue, even their 2 recent ones were really good. Stop Making Sense and The Other Side, they're really, really good beers and highly recommended beers. I think there's more Dayas in the highly recommended than any other brewery, and I think they have to be, my first choice. Next year I'm going to try and drink more. The double IPAs, haven't really drank many of those, but again, really good. Their IPAs definitely for me are their best stuff that they do. Pale ales less so. I think their IPAs are definitely the ones that I'm always going to go for. But definitely, I still think very consistently good. And as I say, most of their beers are featured in the highly recommended sort of in their 80 to 90 sort of section. So Daya are my brewery of 2021. So that's all my top 10 breweries. But what about the top 3 beers of the year? Well, I went through a lot of my reviews and I wrote some of my scoring and everything else, and to be honest, there was quite a few that featured in the 87 mark. My top rated beers, there was 2 top rated beers that both hit 88, and then there was quite a few under 87, so I wanted to pick one of those out of there that I wanted to put in as a 3rd place. So in 3rd place, which hit 87, was a Northern Monk Patrons Project. This is this beer here. This was the Can of Whoop-Ass. It's an Australian double dry hopped IPA at 6.7%. Had Galaxy, Enigma, Vic Secret, Ella, Topaz, Citra Incognito. Lots going on in this beer. Great can artwork. Obviously, with these Patrons projects, you can peel them open. But this one for me came in 3rd place, and as I said, was rated 87. And it was right at the beginning of the year when I reviewed this one. But, you know, obviously this one isn't available now, but really great beer. So if they do anything similar to that, check it out. So that's my 3rd place beer. My 2nd place beer, which got actually 88, was also a Patrons project. That's this beer here. This one is Working Class Heroes, No Such Thing as the Wrong Weather. Again, a 6%. This is a 6% IPA, but this had Azaka, Citra, Idaho 7, Strata, and Citra Cairo. Lots of different hops in there. Real great flavour. Another can artwork that obviously you can open it all up like that. But a really good beer. That got 88. So, you know, and that was a top score joint. But I'm going to put this one in my number 1 beer because I had it on draft. There's a clue. And also in the can. And I'm giving it, and this one got 88. This is Daya's Better Days. This was a juicy IPA with Azaka, Citra, Galaxy, and Simcoe. A cracking beer. Comes in a big can. I paid £4 when I bought this from the tap room. So great value for money as well. Just a really good beer. I mean, yeah, an 88. As I said, there was other beers that got in got to 87. We had my favourite supermarket beer. That's the Alpaca by Salt. That got 87. Another Daya called Stop Making Sense, which was a fairly recent one. That was also an 87. So there's lots of good beers, but I think these are my top 3. So in 1st place, Daya Better Days. You can still get this, so give it a try. Northern Monk, Working Class Heroes, No Such Thing as the Wrong Weather. That was an IPA. And also the Northern Monk Patrons Project, Can of Whoop-Ass. So great beers. They're my top 3 for 2021. I wonder if 2022 we're going to get similar sort of brands of beer. We're going to get in the Patrons projects. They always do really well. I mean, actually, when I think about it, maybe Northern Monk should be probably in my top 3 just because of the Patrons project stuff. But anyway, they're really good beers. Always buy them. If you want to get more of the Patron stuff, then you can join their Patrons membership. I'm not sure if it's still open. It opens and closes and only takes so many people on. Something that I should really look into 2022. So I hope you enjoyed this little update, this review of 2021 in terms of the beers that I've really enjoyed drinking and obviously reviewing on the channel. But what about you guys? What's your top beer of 2021? What's your top brewery as well? I'm interested to see whether you are close to me at all in terms of the Dayas and the Verdants and the Pollys in terms of top 3 breweries, and whether your top beers are these sort of hazy IPAs that I love. Let me know in the comments what you think. Hope you've enjoyed this. Look forward to 2022 and drinking more beer. And until the next one, you know what you've got to do. Keep on rocking.